Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Bant Control with Plagon, Lord of the Beach. This is an awesome creature that when he enters, you get to draw a card for each creature you control with toughness greater than its power. And guess what? Our deck has 19 creatures whose toughness is greater than their power. So we're going to be able to draw a lot of cards off this enters the battlefield trigger. Plagon also has a targeted ability. Target creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power this turn. That can be paid in either blue or white. And guess what annoying bird wizard we have in this deck? Nadu, Winged Wisdom, which loves to be targeted by things. And in fact, all your creatures love to be targeted by things. So you can just spam Plagon activations, and for 1 mana, you get a Nadu trigger. Of course, we are also playing Shuko, which we can just equip repeatedly to different creatures to get additional Nadu triggers, and we're playing Stoneforge Mystic to go fetch that. The reason I'm not playing Nomad, first of all, it doesn't have a greater toughness than its power. There is a bigger Nadu or a bigger Nomad that's called Shaman Encore, but I've playtested with that and I wasn't really satisfied with that, so I wanted to try just using Stoneforge Mystic instead and going and getting Shuko. I don't want to play the little Nomad because it doesn't synergize with Plagon, and also it often gets sniped by Bowmaster, and our deck is completely Bowmaster proof. We're rocking the 4 Delighted Halfling. This is really the most powerful card in the deck. It's what enables us to just windmill slam a Plagon on the table turn 2 and draw 2 cards off of it, thanks to the Halfling itself and the Plagon, or to slam an early Nadu. And I'm really excited about it. In terms of the other equipment that we can get, in addition to Shuko, I've got a pre-war formal wear, which is a cool way to recur either like a Tamio or a Nadu or something that's gone to the graveyard. We can bring it back and in its full glory with +2/+2 and vigilance. So this should be a lot of fun. We get to play all the best interaction spells. We've got the 4 forces, the 4 plows, the 2 prismatic endings. We even have a Teferi in here, which can be cast uncounterably off of Delighted Halfling. We also have pretty perfect mana. We've got 19 lands, including all 3 basics, lots of fetches. We've got 10 fetches. I really want to be able to fetch basic lands. This deck's weakness is its mana, so we're not playing any wastelands. We're hoping to just stop tech land decks like lands, like 12 Post, with Harbinger, and also, of course, Eldrazi decks. In addition to the Harbingers of the Seas, we have 3 consigns. For Moon Stompy type decks or Painter, we've got 2 Hydroblasts. We've got a full 4 Force of Negation. I'm not messing around. There's so much Omnitel. There's so much Storm going out there, but really this is for Necro Dominance and Oops All spells, which you just have to have a Force or you lose. These are also really good against Dredge. And then speaking of Dredge, we've got the 3 Grafdigger's Cage. These come in against the best deck in the format, Blue-Black Reanimator, and we have a Batterskull on the sideboard that we can bring in against aggro matchups. And whenever I bring in Grafdigger's Cage, I have to take out pre-war because they stomp on one another. So we have an equipment we can bring in, so we're not just drawing dead late game Stoneforge Mystics. We can still at least get a Batterskull with it. So I love playing Stoneforge Mystic. I love the idea of being able to have a combo eject button in my control deck, and Nadu is just a perfectly reasonable creature. When you're not comboing with him, just a 3/4 for 3 mana that flies and basically replaces himself when he gets targeted with something. I think that's quite strong. So we're going to play a full 5 rounds as always. See you in round 1. All right, before we jump into round 1, I want to give a shout out to Ford0076, who was the inspiration for this deck. I'm playing a deck very similar to what they have trophied with twice so far. So excited to see it in action. Our opponent's almost certainly on mono red prison style. They play like pretty scary cards like Trinisphere and Steering Bridge. Sorry, I'm a little sick. This hand is okay, but there's a very good chance that they cast Chalice here. They do have 4 Chalices. I think we mulligan this. This hand has the combo. It does have access to lands, like 2 of our 3 basic colors actually. I think we keep this, and I'm going to bottom the Ponder. Actually, I'm going to bottom the Misty because we really want to draw a White Source. And if they turn 1 Chalice, that'll be a bummer, but like there's a decent chance that we'll draw if they turn 1 Trinisphere, I mean. But we have 0 interaction early. We just have to hope that they don't completely destroy us. Okay, this is Chalice. All right, well, that sucks for us. They have a second chalice for 0. Interesting. Okay. They dumped like basically their entire hand for that. Shuko, it's something we can put in with Stoneforge. I am going to just play out a land and pass. Yeah, we don't have a white source anymore. We wouldn't have necessarily had a white source because like Blood Moon comes out of these decks pretty frequently. Okay, there we go. So now casting Stoneforge is going to be a little bit harder. We have to hope that Nadu can get damage across. Continuing to draw 1-drops. I'll play this out. We can't do anything. Yeah, and this was the risk we took against a known Stompy. Okay, now they have a clock. Nadu at least kind of 2-for-1s, but it's not going to be enough to stop them. They'll probably start throwing stuff at me. Okay, they're not. Okay, I'm going to Nadu. And again, like they can kill this by throwing the Magus, or if they have another permanent to throw, like, okay, this guy is pretty brutal. Other goblins have haste. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red creature that attacks a max speed. Add red for each goblin you control. Okay, so I think likely they're going to attack with everything, and then when I block the Magus, they're going to just throw it at the Nadu to kill it. They get a 1/1. They can throw that for 2 damage. You got so much stuff to throw with the Bombardier. The flavor text, this is like such apt flavor text. When they ran short on cannonballs, they went for the pots and pans, and that's what they're doing here. So they do get a speed add 1 red for each goblin you control. I think that is, it's not flavor text, but it's not a big deal. Like, I'll be really happy if we get to that point. So I don't think we run any risk. Like, we should block this, and then they have to throw something bigger. Like, they don't have any 2-drops that they can throw. They would have to throw, like, one of these big things. I'm not going to take the extra damage. Unfortunately, I can't really attack in. They could throw now to avoid... If they made the mistake of throwing this chalice, it'd be insane, but, like, they have so many other things they can throw here. They're just throwing it at me. That's fine. So I'll take... Okay, they're getting closer to max speed. All right, I think we lost. I'm not going to bother attacking or anything. I think they have so much pressure on the table. Let's go to round 2. Yeah, Chalice is a hell of a card against our deck. We do have prismatic endings. Always not lost. Okay, so this is a matchup where Batterskull is pretty good actually, because it just helps us gain life and get out of a deficit. I think we can cut one of our duels. I think I just cut the Savannah. We do want the fetches because they're paths to basics. Pre-war can stay in. It's pretty good. Hydroblasts are great here. I think this might be a Force of Negation matchup. I'm not actually certain. The reason I'm not certain is they have lots of non-creatures. I think we probably bring in at least 2. Teferi's not terrible. Halfling doesn't do a lot because they don't counter spells. It is accelerant and it is color fixing. So if we had like a forest into Halfling start, then we would still be able to cast our blue cards. The card that I think is the least useful here is probably Ponder, because it doesn't really help our game plan. And it does get countered by Chalice. I don't think they have anything to stop Shuko, so I think I could cut a Shuko here. If I'm cutting a Shuko, we still have 3 pieces of equipment to fetch, so I think we can keep all 3 Stoneforges in. And then I can bring this land back in. But I think instead of bringing the land back in, maybe I do want this other Force of Negation. Consign can be good. Consign can stop Chalice. It can stop One Ring. It can stop Fable triggers. I think Force of Negation is just a cleaner answer, though. We don't want to hold up mana. We're kind of a tap out deck. Right. This hand does have basic planes. Pretty good, but if they Chalice, it's pretty bad. I mean, this has the combo. I think we have to keep this. Sadly, we get basic planes. They Blood Moon us. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take the risk. Because if we can get... We have to get all 3 colors, actually. Yeah, this is what I was talking about with like all the fetches helping us get a path to basics here. I think I'm just going to hope they come out with a creature and not a Chalice. So at the very worst, we can get a Plow that we can hopefully cast. And I can get an Island and Brainstorm if they do Chalice turn 1. But I do think white is better because at least we can get Stoneforge. And if we have Stoneforge, at least we can go get Batterskull, and that might be enough to win. Because we can equip Batterskull and cast it even if they deal with the Stoneforge. They're not going to permanently be able to deal with The Batter Skull, I don't think they have any artifact destruction in their deck. Plains? Okay, that's surprising. Trinisphere. All right, so I am gonna just island here, and then I'm gonna cast this Brainstorm, which gets pretty embarrassing when you're paying 3 mana for it. Okay, we found a force. Is it worth forcing this? I don't think it is, because they're kind of trapped under it too. Put back this Hedge Maze. Next turn I can fetch a Trop. I can put back Force as well. I just don't want to go down on cards here. I'm going to put back the Force, and I guess I will redraw it. Okay, so I definitely don't want to draw that Hedge Maze. So what I'm going to do here is, I think this is a good opportunity. Oh, we can't do anything. So I think, actually, I will just go get the Hedge Maze end step, even though it's on top of my deck. I'll get it, and then we just won't have to worry about that. We don't have a path to a basic forest, unfortunately. So if they have like an Ancient Tomb here, they still... Oh, wow. That's super risky play, putting the Trinisphere out. We do have the mana, so we're going to be able to dig out of this. And I think the first order of business is... I mean, this bounces it to hand, but we don't want to bounce it to hand. This is a blue card for Force. I think we keep this. Well, we're not going to be able to cast... This removes the Trinisphere at our convenience. I think we keep it. So we Delightful Halfling. Actually, hear me out. We could just Stoneforge here, and then we go get the Batter Skull, and then we just Batter Skull and start beating them with that. It'll be hard for them to beat that, and we can wait the subsequent turn, and we can actually hold up Teferi and force. The other option is we bin this, which we don't really care about this. And yeah, I'm going to bin this. I want to draw into a basic forest just as a, that's like the biggest card that I'd like to draw right here, or fetch that can get a basic forest out. If we get a fetch for basic forest, okay, pre-war is not terrible. We don't have any targets for it yet. My instinct is to go ahead and just put Nadu out, because that does damage quickly, and then we can Stoneforge the subsequent turn. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to just Nadu. And now, if they do Blood Moon, at least we've got plenty of white cards and stuff. If they can somehow remove Nadu, yeah, I think they just misplayed here. I can't imagine that what they did was correct. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and come in for a hug here. And then I'm going to cast Stoneforge. Next turn, we can just put the actual card in play with Stoneforge. We don't need to cast it. So let's get our Shuko. And they have like really one turn. Fury would be good, but they need a lot of mana to cast Fury. They need a soul land. Trinisphere is, a dangerous card. All right, now they know a little bit more about what our deck does. I think with them leading on Trinisphere, we do want this Force Negation in. I don't really want to cut Teferi because there could be a situation where they get some crazy permanent out that the only way we can answer it is to Teferi bounce it. They do, if they're playing like this big deck, this is different from what they're listed because what they're playing has white in it, but they have like Chandra, Torch of Defiance, and Chandra Awaken Inferno. These cards are very difficult to deal with. Yeah, can't be countered. So we have to worry about that. We also have to worry about Ensnaring Bridge. So I don't want to cut Teferi for those reasons. I think cutting a Brainstorm is okay. Like we are going really down on our card selection, but if they're playing cards like Trinisphere, Plow is not embarrassing. Paying 3 mana, Brainstorm is very embarrassing to pay 3 mana for. So in terms of blue cards in our deck, let's go ahead and just do a quick count. So we've got 26 blue cards. That's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. The other thing we could cut potentially is a pre-war. But pre-war will be good. Being able to bring back a creature that gets wiped out is pretty powerful. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that in there. This might actually be like the kind of card that accelerates us to win when they are ramping toward Chandra. So on the draw, I'm gonna only keep Force Hand. I can't afford to have them Blood Moon me. This hand would be okay, but again, I'm gonna keep a Force Hand. This does have one basic, but it's just not enough because like that basic does nothing. We would need to find the basic planes to get and even then we'd be like way on our back foot and probably dead by the time we Prismatic ended it. Okay, here's fine. So I'm going to keep this, put back a Trop, and I don't want to put back a Plow because if they open with like a big creature, then I do need to be able to plow it. Teferi is a more flexible card. However, I do want Teferi in my deck in case I need to draw to it. Is it like an answer? Like when I'm going off with Nadu? I think Plagon is the card that probably gets pitched to force. Sad to do that, but yeah. All right, we're going to hope that like they exhaust their hand on like some big play that we can force. They should know that we are mulling to force though. This is Blood Moon, Magus of the Moon. Unfortunately, we do have to force this. We're not set up for it. All right. So they have 3 cards left in hand. I'm going to presume that they've got something to do next turn. This is actually a pretty good draw because we can go ahead and Island Tamio, and at least we have a basic in play, and then maybe we can draw some cards over the next few turns. If they have a creature, Plow does play. If they have a Chalice, at least we got our 1-drop on the table. Okay, wow, they don't have anything. So this means they have big stuff in their hand. This is a phenomenal draw. I am going to have to fetch under... Yeah. I'll wait to fetch. But like if they put Blood Moon out now, Blood Moon's not as big of a deal because we'll have 2 or 3 colors. Okay, so this might be Chandra. House Squad Heavy. I'm just going to plow that now. I don't want them to have creatures. I should have fetched before. That was a mistake. Now they're already on level 2. Yeah, because if they have a subsequent, I'll feel like a fool. I think that's happened before and I didn't learn my lesson. But I'm learning it now, right? Like, call me if you see me like not fetching with that on the stack. All right. That's not a bad draw. It's coming for a hug. I could draw just in case I find a fetch. I'd rather play that than this Tundra. Okay, that's a good card. I'll play the Tundra out, and yeah, we're just a sitting duck for a turn. 5 mana. This could be, like, Big Chandra is definitely a possibility here. 5 mana, Fury. So I can't counter this, but I can plow it. So I'm going to instep plow it. Just be mana efficient because our deck is very mana hungry, and I definitely don't want to be taking 6 next turn. Okay, so I'm just going to chill with Force Negation up and plow up, and then I can crack the clue in the instep. They have a lot of error in their deck, like cards that don't do a whole lot. Okay, so I'm just going to plow this. Now, instep, we can draw. We're getting closer. Okay, Prismatic Ending is not terrible. It's not great. Okay, Brainstorm is good. However, we could whiff. If we get there's so many good cards we could draw here. I'm going to go for it. I really do want to get... Okay, there's the Forest. That's a huge relief. So, options. We could just Stoneforge. That shuffles away the Forest, though. But that does give us path to... Yeah, and then we just hold double Force Negation to deal with whatever permanent they put in play. I think that's okay. I mean, it feels bad to shuffle away the Forest, but once the Batter Skull comes down, we're going to be in a really strong position. I think that's worth it. And I don't want to let up on these Force Negations. Just in case, I'm trying to think, a 1-ring or something would be really crazy and unfortunate. Okay, so let's get we could just get pre-war and then we're guaranteed to get Tamio back. I think that's actually better than Batter Skull here. Because Tamio, mid-game, we're going to be drawing a lot of cards. So let's just hope that they don't have, big Tamio or something or big Chandra. That would be really disastrous. That's any color they want, and this could be big Chandra if they're on that. 4 mana. This 1-ring? Please be 1-ring. Oh, Winota. Okay, this is scary, but we may be able to deal with her. Maybe. We wouldn't have been able to Prismatic End that, so I don't think the decision we made was bad. It's worth noting that currently she doesn't do anything. We can just bring back Tamio, and Tamio can block. We can also hold up Force Negation Hardcast if we need to, but I think most likely I do want to bring back Tamio this turn. I don't care about that. That really doesn't impact me at all. She doesn't bother attacking. That's fine with me. We go ahead and put pre-war in. We'll get back a Tamio here. We're low enough in life that I'm not sure how many times we can attack with Tamio, but I think it's worth it to get the clue. Do we want to surveil here? I don't think it's worth it. I think it's better to be able to get the basic forest, and I will take land. Okay, that's fine. So I can attack here and just chill. And then I have clue activation and force negation up. And if they attack for 4, Oh, wait, this has freaking vigilance. I don't even need to think about that. Okay, yeah, I feel like we're in a pretty good position here. So I can surveil if I want to, but I'll probably just draw off clue. If they don't put anything on the stack worth force negationing, then I'll do that. Don't be a creature. Aye, aye, aye. So I think it's fine to go ahead and surveil here first. And then maybe we find, well, no, we can't surveil and crack a clue. We crack a clue. This doesn't have haste. Does it? It doesn't get haste. So them taking the initiative, we're going to get the initiative right back. So we don't want to get our force here because we're going to be able to get it. If I find a force, I do want to use it. Delighted Halfling, not what we're looking for. Okay. Well, this resolves, and there's nothing we can really do about it. Yeah, I'll just surveil in step. So I have to remove this, otherwise Winota starts going crazy. No, wait, this is a human. Okay, so this doesn't trigger Winota. That's good to know about. If Winota, yeah, I can just block. Okay, they get the initiative. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fetch here to get the surveil. Oh, that could put some up to max speed. Okay, yeah, that's irritating. I mean, like I can see how they would be getting max speed almost every game if they're playing against fetch land decks. That is a card I would like to dodge. All right, if we can find Batterskull, that's still really freaking good. Oh. So I think what we do here, we attack, we get the initiative, we crack the clue. I definitely want to get the initiative first. I'm going to just attack in the air. They don't have reach or anything, so we are going to be able to do 2 damage to them. So let's go get our forest. I think we can go ahead and just crack clue to see what we draw here. Oh, no. No, we're going to lose. We are going to lose. I can play out the Delighted Halfling. I mean, this can block Winota. It's not the end, but they are going to get a free card. At this point, that's pretty strong. If I play out the Delighted Halfling, I don't think it's actually that great. And the reason is we already have plenty of mana. Yeah, I think it's better to hold up Force Negation just in case like they do rip like a One Ring. I mean, is definitely on their deck. Yeah, I'll just play this out. Yeah, we're going to take 5 here. And then they're going to get the initiative. What? They just punted. That was a huge punt. They should have attacked. They have trample. I could double block this, but like they would be able to get through. Yeah, I mean, I'll take it, but like it feels bad to win when they clearly just misclicked. I think we could put double counter on Tomio. This is probably better than Lost Welling because stash and all that stuff doesn't really matter. I'm going to forge on Tomio. Okay, and now they can't even really attack with Chaos Adventurer. Let's go ahead and create our clue first. I'm just going to come in. They take 4. They drop to 13. Next turn, we can trap them. We just need to make sure not to draw too many cards because then Tomio flips. That would be bad. I'm going to go ahead and draw. Batterskull. Yes, that's the best draw in our deck by far. That card is absolutely insane here. So we'll keep it as a surprise. And it can just trade and we can bounce. Yeah, but they're not going to... Well, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to hold up Force Negation. And I can Force Negation something and still put Batterskull in. Batterskull is going to be so sweet here. Because we can equip Batterskull to this, and then we just got like this freaking tank. Flying Fortress. Like, Fury could still flip the script here for sure. I'm trying to think of other cards. Taking the initiative back would be good for them. Elemental, okay, so that might mean Fury. Okay, they are indeed hardcasting Fury here. I'm going to let it resolve first. Batterskull comes in. We don't get the element of surprise. Opponent says, wow. That's always a good thing when your opponent says, wow, surprise. Yeah, who plays freaking Batterskull in 2025? Well, I'm about to be rewarded for doing so. Now, this Caves of Chaos can come across and not a lot we can do about it, unfortunately. Like, I think we just let it through, but then we can do so much damage on the backswing. So we attach the Batterskull, and then this becomes an 8 flying lifelink. Yeah. So I'm just going to take this damage here, and I'll get them the initiative back for a turn. See what the trigger is. City of Traders. Okay, that's not a good card. I think they've already made their land drop. So we got lucky here. We could just get rid of this, but I think it's fine to just... Oh, you know what? We can just block trade. They get the initiative, but then we just equip here next turn. We gain some life too. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So we actually go up in life here, and they lose their creature. They get the initiative. They've got max speed. They're going to forge onto... Yeah, that's fine. It's worth noting that this is a 4/7. So actually, if I equip Batterskull, like I can actually beat Fury in combat, even though it's got that ability. Which it doesn't really matter, because I'm just going to equip Batterskull to Tamio, and then I'm going to trap them for Xaxes. I don't think I'm missing anything. They're Hellbent. This just wins. Yep. All right, trapped. Wow. Batterskull is a very good card. It's still got it many years later. Wow, that felt insane. All right, let's go to round 2. But so Stoneforge Mystic being much better than a freaking... What would we have drawn? Like the Shaman Inkor? Yeah, I think Stoneforge has a lot more merit, at least from where I'm sitting. And I love Stoneblade. I love this archetype, and I'm glad that, you know, it's viable. I mean, at least Ford was getting, you know, 2. I think they said they only lost 2 matches in the past 15 matches, which, keep in mind, they probably... When you lose a whole bunch of matches, you don't keep track of that. You keep track of your win streaks, right? So it's not... I'm not saying that like this is an 80+% win rate deck, but you know, it's certainly working for them, and it felt powerful there. Right. We are in round 2. Philip J. Fry, which is a reference to Futurama. Thank you to the commenter who pointed that out. Moon Stompy. So on the play, actually, I think this is fine. And here's my reason. We can Forest, then we Delighted Halfling. We Delighted Halfling again. And we can Delighted Halfling. With those, we do have mana. We can at least cast our legendary creatures. I think it's okay. Not a fantastic hand, but I don't want to chase the perfect 7 when I have a basic with double Delighted Halfling. I think this feels pretty good. Got Shuko, so all we're missing is the Nadu, and we can take off. So if they're not on Moon Stompy, this will be pretty embarrassing if they're like, oh, I'll just plow that. And then we're like stuck. But the fact that we have a second halfling, I think, makes it a little bit better. Fury does take out 2 halflings, notably. Okay, Swamp. Fatal Push. Perfectly respectable start. All right. So we're going to hope to hit another land here. We did not hit another land in our 19 land deck. That does happen. So we're just going to play this, and we're going to repeat the turn. Next turn, if halfling survives... Okay, so we can play a Tamio for sure. They may take Shuko. Shuko is a deck that is a card that black decks generally can't deal with. That's one advantage of playing Shuko over Nomads is once you get it on the table, there's not a lot they can do. They could Braves and Borrow it. Yeah, they do take Shuko. That feels great, by the way. Like that wasn't even necessarily part of my plan at this point. A Wasteland. All right, we're going to be playing on all basics this game. We've got all the fetches to give us the basics. All right. So... yeah, I think we play like this. We don't have to worry about them countering our force or our Tamio if we just play it out like this. I do kind of want to... Let's see. Should we ponder first? I do kind of want to island ponder here. I just want to get it out of the way because they likely have Bowmasters in the deck. Another fetch would be fantastic. Wow, forcing. That's super aggressive. Pitching a Strix. Okay. That is a deal. I definitely didn't want to deal with the Strix. And if they knew that Tamio was coming, they may not have done that. So it was proper sequencing to ponder first. Cast your uncounterable spells before your counterable spells. I'm not used to having uncounterable spells, but that seems like a heuristic that works. Savannah is not atrocious. I mean, there's a possibility we draw into something good here. I'm going to go ahead and do it. This is where they could waste me and keep me from using this mana to Tamio. That would make sense. I'm pretty sure the mana empties before we go to the attack step. Yes, it does. Okay. So good on my opponent to do that for doing that. I'll just get the extra damage here. I already played my land for turn. Oh, they're fetching. Exciting. What could they play here at speed? Another Fatal Push? A Bowmaster? That's fine. That can kill my delightful halfling. I didn't think about that for some reason, even though I was talking about it earlier. It just didn't occur to me that like it wasn't free to do this. Yeah, and that's kind of a problem if we don't find a white source. Yeah, I think that was a bad attack, frankly. I should have thought about that. So I'll definitely chalk that up as a punt. Also, they did it with the clue on the stack, so there was never a moment where I could have cracked the clue. Another wasteland coming in. This could be Kaito. Do we have Kaito in the house? No? Thank goodness. That would have been a disaster. White mana, please. I'd love for them to push this or do something like that so I can just play out the redundant one. Bowmasters is very good against our deck, even though we don't have any creatures that are specifically weak to it. I'm going to play this out, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to attacks. And then what I can do is I can wait for the opportunity and plow, and then I can start cracking clues. But I'm not in a hurry. I want to wait till they're kind of tapped down a little bit lower so they can't just Bowmaster with the second Bowmaster on the clue activation. Troll Cycle. Okay, so they may be on Reanimator, or they may be on like Pokemoki's list, which is kind of like Kaito / Reanimator. I mean, yeah, it's probably Pokemoki's list because I saw Baleful Strix earlier. I'm going to go ahead and just clear this. They'll have to waste. I don't care about Tundra as much. We are running low on white sources that we can fetch. I'm not going to take this damage, though. This damage could be consequential. Now is an opportunity for them to Rebowmaster. It's fine. Okay. End step. Let's draw a card. Nadu. Okay, force. Just think of how strong it would be if I were able to put Nadu on the table right now. If I hadn't attacked like a dunce with my Delighted Halfling there. Well, I'm going to come in. I'm going to go ahead and clue now, just so I don't have to worry about it getting Bowmastered. See if I can get a land drop. Fetch. I'm playing 10 fetches for a reason. This does help us Nadu. Also helps us pay force around days. I think we do play it out. And if they waste us, they waste us. But like we do need to be able to force pitch Tamio without them being able to daze back. Rainstorm's fine. Definitely going to prioritize getting a wasteland here if they can. But I think the Pokemoki list only plays 3 wastelands. They play Reanimate, which is not nearly as scary when you have a bunch of plows in your deck. So they're spinning their wheels here. They could find a land and get Bowmasters back on the table. I will force a Bowmaster. I don't want to deal with it. I'll force a Reanimate. I don't know what else I would force. Like a Baragoi for something would probably be force-worthy since we don't have interaction. I am worried about them having a Tundra or a Daze, and I don't really want to play my Nadu out until I can be confident it won't be dazed. There's a land. Okay. I would not be surprised at all if they have a Bowmaster in hand. That would be definitely a card I would consider keeping it at this point in the game. That's perfect. All right. So options. We go ahead and create the clue, and then we Nadu, I think. Because they're going to push if we Nadu first. We could double clue crack to flip this. If they put a Bowmaster on the stack, I will probably crack the clue just so I can get the value out of it. And wait on the Nadu. Because we're not doing anything with Nadu other than just sitting there with Nadu out, which is not bad. I can't wait to get this Plains, though. Like, how awesome is it being able to reliably fetch your basics? And then the deck is constructed to where you don't really need lots of color. Like, I intentionally took out Endurance. That was a card I was experimenting with early on because I found that it was just really hard to reliably get double green when you're, playing against a bunch of wastelands and stuff. And the green count wasn't so high that we could always reliably pitch cast. Also, I'm really happy that we're getting to showcase the Pokemoki deck. It's a cool deck. Shout out to Pokemoki for brewing cool decks. And Philip J. Fry for giving them a spin. All right. We get to create our clue, which is great. And once Nadu's out, all bets are off, basically. It becomes very hard for them to target our stuff. So, fatal pushes, all that stuff becomes pretty difficult. Okay, I'm just going to force back. They're at Hellbent. And I feel like we probably just won this game. Nadu's in. Can't immediately do anything with Nadu, but again, they're Hellbent. The card they pitched was a Daze, so I did play correctly around Daze. Strix is a great card. I can just attack with Clue and double activate. Oh, they drew a land and they played it out. I think that was a mistake. They should have held it because I would have respected the possibility of a Bowmasters. I think I'm not going to surveil. I want to get the Plains. I don't want I don't think it's actually correct to get the plains. I think it is correct to go in Surveil here just so I don't draw it. And I don't have anything else going on right here. So let's get Hedge Maze. Like they could waste me off white, which would be embarrassing. Okay, that's perfect. We're just going to get rid of that and we're just going to keep plowing through. So again, this is a 2-for-1 for them, which is good for them. But it's fine with me. I want to be able to keep pushing damage and drawing cards. And I would be stunned if they don't scoop pretty soon. We're like in a very commanding position here. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card now while I don't have to worry about Bowmaster. Force will be a good card draw later. Like basically anything they use to target Nadu. First of all, they have to turn on Revolt, which they can't easily do. I'm trying to imagine what they could draw that would even be that relevant. Like Troll, I could not race Troll, but well, if they reanimate Troll, then I can race that. Because they'll be at 7 and I can swing 3 times before they can swing 3 times. The best draw in their deck is probably Metamorphosis Fanatic, but it has to be Miracled, and I'll have a Force up by then. Teferi's pretty insane. I think I just keep attacking. Just hold up my interaction. There's no reason to play the Teferi here. They don't have anything to bounce. I've got Force Blue card. Okay, yeah, they're just playing the lands and just giving me time, basically. I mean, I might as well crack these. They're Hellbent. Just seeing more on my deck, but I don't actually have to show them any more on my deck. I can just win with what's on the table here. I'm not going to show them Teferi. I'm not going to show them anything. I'm just going to keep attacking. And we have plenty of time on the clock. I don't think this will come out of time. Hopefully not. Like, my deck is very click intensive. Fetching for Surveil. They have a second Surveil? No. Got Heartcast Force up. Kaito. I mean, it's kind of like a brutal thing to do, but I am just going to Heartcast Force it. All right, and they can see to that. Okay, so we're down like 30 seconds. That's not bad. But again, if I have to combo off, it is going to take a lot of clock. So, Grafdigger's Cage, not terrible considering they have 4 reanimation effects. But it does stop us from using pre-war, which is quite good. We could just throw 1 in. I mean, they probably have a total of 4 reanimation effects in the entire deck. That's what Pokemoki, like the 1 reanimation guy and then the 3 reanimates. We don't really have any cards that are bad. I think I'm just going to run it back with all the cards. We need a lands. We can't cut lands or anything like that. We'll just hope to start like, I think we started that game like Delighted Halfling off Basic Forest. I'm going to hope to just get our basics. So this is like how you actually play on basics in my opinion. Like a lot of people, you'll see them like going overboard with basics. Don't go overboard with basics. Go overboard with fetches. It's fine to run 10 fetches. You don't need, unless you're playing like a whole lot of double white cards like Supreme Verdict. Like Jessica, I can understand why they want to play so many basics, but most decks, you do not want to play more than 1 of each basic unless you really need it. And if you look, I've strategically built my deck where I never need more than 1 of any color pip so that I can just conveniently play on basics. The exception, of course, being Harbinger of the Seas, but that also pushes you into basics, and it's just a later game play. This has path to Basic Swamp, or Basic Plains, Basic Island. Delighted Halfling is a fine start if they don't open Wasteland. I think I'm just going to take it slow. I love Halfling. They may Thoughtseize me here. If they Thoughtseize, they almost certainly take Halfling. That's fine. I'm not scared of that. I am tempted to just pop out the Halfling here. That does shut off the avenue of us. You know, I could just Island Tomio. And if they kill Tomio, it's not that big a deal. No, I'm gonna get the trop. I'm gonna go ahead and Halfling here. And if they daze, it's okay. Halfling is just so good. I mean, like Halfling is just oppressive. It's by far the best card in the deck. Like you might be saying, well, what about Nadu? What about like no Halfling enabling uncounterable Nadu is just unfair. It's just absolutely brutal. It's gonna enable uncounterable Teferi here. Okay, they bend to Thoughtseize, which what does that say about their hand? That they may already have a Thoughtseize that they're about to cast. Fatal Push now. Okay, that's fine. So now we have Tomio with Brainstorm backup. That is risky though. Oh, Prismatic Ending is great. They can't stop it. I think I'm just going to play on non-basics here. I could be playing into, but I seriously doubt with all the basics we showed them last game that they're going to do that. It's more important that I remove theirs than that they remove mine. Then if they want to daze, it's okay. They're like pretty far back And I am going to go ahead and just Tomio here. Because next turn I have potential Teferi. Every turn that Tomio is on the table is, an expensive one-sided Howling Mine. Pulling me a little farther ahead. How good is Prismatic Ending here? That was just insane. Or 3 mana. No idea what they have, but I'd be willing to bet that it starts with O and ends with Aster. I'm going to create a clue. I don't want to risk brainstorming into a Bowmaster here. I think they're going to let me create it. There is like a kind of a feint you can do here. A feint where you... So we Teferi here, we plus. I don't think they have a good way to remove it. But if they Bowmaster, then they could potentially have Kaito. And Kaito would just cleanly remove my Teferi. Because they Bowmaster ping. They can't actually target with Bowmaster ping. But they have 2 attackers. They attack for 4. They knock it down to 1 loyalty. Yeah, that'd be pretty embarrassing. And I wouldn't have an answer to that. I think it's correct to just wait with Brainstorm up, and I can Brainstorm if in the end step if they go ahead and Bowmaster me here. And they may have to do that because they're not going to want to sit still. Okay, so now I can go ahead and just get both of these out of my hand. Let's Brainstorm. All right, this force is pretty awesome. I'm going to just force this. I don't think I need the Windswept Teeth. I can force pitch this other Nadu. And then based on what happened, no, I'll force pitch Tomio here. Gosh, what if I need that land? What if they waste me? I think I force pitch Tomio. That much is clear, but what am I going to do with these other cards? I think Teferi is pretty mid here. It may be really useful, it may not. So Tomio's going to flip. I am going to force here because I don't want to lose my Tomio next turn. I'd much rather have a Nadu than a Tomio here. Okay, they did not force back. All right. So we're in their turn. They want a Bowmaster again. That's fine. I will Brainstorm around it. Cracking that clue is dangerous. Also, I do have a card that I don't mind drawing in Teferi on top. And I have a fetch as well, which I will probably want to use now that they have... okay, double blue. This is Mark. So Teferi is going to be really good here, but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get it. Actually, you know what I can do is I can Brainstorm. Oh, that's fine. I was worried about... yeah, that's totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and just Brainstorm here just for momentum. Because I want to deploy Teferi next turn even though they're wasting me. And then Teferi can just hit this. And if they daze, it's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. Tommy is pretty good here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go like this. I'll redraw the Windswept Teeth. That's fine. So let's see. Have they used any dazes? They haven't. They could absolutely have a daze in hand. That would suck. So the conservative play to do is just to play the Tomio and pass. And we have Surveil up. We also have Clue Crack up. And then we can get our third land. There's no rush. They could play this out to prevent Tomio from attacking. There's a Brainstorm. I think slow disciplined play wins the day here. They can Fatal Push here, but they don't know that I don't have Brainstorm number 3. I believe we have a Ponder on top. We haven't fetched yet. So we could Ponder and then also crack the Clue. I'm just waiting, trying to get their hand empty. Belflestrix is irritating, but it doesn't matter if we can just Ponder and then crack the Clue and then, draw off of Tomio. I think that's how I'm going to be embarrassed if that's not what's on top. But I'm pretty sure that's what's on top. If that's on top, then I can Ponder and Clue Crack and get what I need. All right. So that's good. Let's go ahead and Ponder here. We'll just take the best of the 3 cards, unfortunately. Because I could have fetched before I Pondered, actually. I think that was correct. Whoa! They pitched a Kaito for that? All right. Well, I guess I'm not attacking with Tomio. I am going to go ahead and just fetch. This is an opportunity where I can go ahead and get basics if I want to. They've used one of their wastelands. They have probably just 2 more wastelands and 44 cards. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to play on basics. I'm going to be tough. I'm going to get Savannah here. My deck cannot win without access to secondary colors, though. Their deck can. But I've already kind of made up my mind that I don't think they're bringing in those cards. Let's go ahead and see if we can find a land here around Bowmasters. Brainstorm's not bad. Next turn, we can potentially attack and brainstorm. They have nothing in hand, but they do have the Strix that can come out. Or, sorry, the Brazen Borrower that can come out. Black, blue. Oh no, Barrow! That's not good. That is not good. So we can bounce that, but we can only do so much. Okay. They are tapped out. Force is good. We can force on the way back down. I think we have to. I'm going to go ahead and attack, and then I'm going to brainstorm. Then what if I don't find a land or a plow? I will deal with that, possibility. They're going to come in for a block. That's fine. Okay, so now we're going to brainstorm. So we get this. Okay, we got the land. So we can just bounce it, and then we can force it. And I don't want these extra lands, so I'll just take one of these. It might make sense to start getting basics. I'm going to get a basic plains here. So that flips. They're cracking. I don't know what this can accomplish. Okay. Post combat. We plus. We fetch. I think I'm playing really well today. If I can compliment myself. Like seeing lines and stuff. Playing conservatively. Teferi comes in. Teferi bounces here. We have uncounterable force of Plagon. That doesn't really help. I'll actually pitch Plagon and I'll hold Nadu here. They cannot kill Teferi because of the Tamio plus, but that does mean that I'm going to need to keep plussing Tamio to keep them off Teferi's back. They could actually play this out, and the subsequent turn they could kill it, but I think they're going to go ahead and Barragoyf again here. Reanimate is very live now that they have the Barragoyf in the graveyard, but it already was. Teferi makes it impossible for them to counter, which feels great. It's plus. It's plus. Go ahead and Nadu here. I'm going to not tap the white just in case they have a wasteland. I need to keep that up. Now this is no longer an answer. Yeah, they scoop. Wow. This deck feels really good. Like Pokemoki's deck is no slouch. It's a really good control deck. And we just 2-0'd it. Let's go. Round 3. All right, round 3. We're on the draw. Our opponent has already mulliganed. I am going to keep this hand. Our opponent is unknown, but the fact that they mulligan makes me think they are more likely a combo player than not. Hand is not spectacular. We do have, depending on what they're playing, we have, basic forest into Delighted Halfling, which is a strong opening. But the real reason I kept this is because of force. Pedal. This is Moon Stompy most likely. This is that House Squad heavy. I mean, they did use a lot of resources. I think this is a force. I could see myself getting run over by this. I'm going to force. I think the natural pitch, because they're likely to play Chalice, is Ponder. And then we've got 2 good cards that we can slam into play. And that has some sick art, by the way. Looks like the freaking Turtle Van from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay. Yeah, this is great. If they don't have Blood Moon, I'll feel very well positioned. I'm going to go ahead and get the Halfling out. They have Blood Moon, I'm going to be sad because I will be able to resolve Nadu. Actually, I won't be able to resolve Teferi. All right, so this is probably going to... They're probably on like the all powerful, goblins deck. So they're going to slam like a powerful goblin in here. Rebel Master, yep. Fortunately, I can just block the creature that has to attack here. I don't think there's any reason not to, unless they're playing like Gutshot, which they wouldn't be playing because it's a terrible card. Okay. Now we can go get some more basics. I think Basic Island is the order of the day. We could just bounce this back to hand with the Teferi, but they could attack and kill it. I'm going to go ahead and just get Island. It is the more important of our 2 colors. If they wipe this out, then Teferi not being able to come down would be sad. Yeah, I'm going to get Island here. Nadu out. So I'm just going to block the creature. Can't really block this because this becomes pretty powerful. I think +1, +0. Oh yeah, it doesn't get that powerful. This can be blocked and killed. Man, Nadu's a great blocker. Like, you can talk trash on Nadu being like a, poorly designed card, and it clearly is, but it's so good for combat. It's ridiculous. If they attack with a Rabble Master, that'll tell me they definitely have a Fury here. Fury can't kill both my Nadu and my Delighted Halfling, so I am going to block here. I don't want them to amass a lot of these because then that makes it easier for them to do damage later. They Fury here. I won't shed a tear because I will get a Nadu trigger. Okay. I think this is a situation where had I fetched properly, I would just have a plow here. I think what I do is I just go ahead into Fairy and then keep the Nadu back so I can bounce this out of play and get like buy some time. That is not good enough. I mean, that could go get... I just want to get the basic planes. I am going to go ahead and just get this out of my hand. Actually, I could just bounce Delighted Halfling back to hand and get a card for it. Or wait a second. So let's get white here. Yeah, I'll get the Nadu trigger off this. Yeah, now that I think about it, I should have left the land on top. That was a misplay because I could have definitely gotten a land into play here, which would be better than just a random card off the top. Let's rip that back to hand. Nadu trigger and card draw. All right, we don't have a land drop, but we did find our Tundra, which is great. Okay, so if they have Fury and they can kill this, then our Teferi dies too, which isn't that big of a deal. They don't have a lot of cards they can cast here other than like the One Ring would be scary, but I think we could race it. Okay, get rid of their City Traders. White mana detected. Might be the same deck we played in round 1. I don't think so though. Blood Moon would be kind of annoying here. Caves of Chaos. Okay, this is very similar to what we played in round 1. Fortunately, we have a flying creature that's going to go get that initiative. Then we're going to go get our planes. Then we're going to plow their threats and play some blockers and stand up to this bully that is our opponent. Illegal attack. So we're trying not to attack with their goblin, but you have to fight. 2 cards in hand. I mean, a second plow would be the best thing we could draw here, but we do have obviously the best thing we could draw would just be Nadu combo. If we were to find Shuko, we could just go crazy. I think it's probably worth doing the Ponder here. Let's think about this. So we're going to get a Plains, and then we could play the Halfling, and that could block the Rabblemaster token and the Tamio. Yeah, so we do have the mana to go ahead and Ponder here, is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to go ahead and start by getting my land. They can't do anything about this because we have the Teferi bubble. So we'll take the initiative. Okay. Grab our planes. So I don't need to actually play out the planes right now. I'm going to go ahead and start by pondering here. There's another Nadu. I don't want these cards really. Well, Brainstorm actually does fix our hand. Actually, Brainstorm does a pretty good job because we plow this and then we Brainstorm with Tamio out and then, we're still short of mana. There's no way that we can target our Nadu currently. So I think I'll do it like this. I will take the Brainstorm. We're just going to go ahead and play everything out. So I'm going to play out the Tamio, play out the Halfling, play out the on Keys of Chaos Adventurer. We should be okay in terms of not taking damage this turn. Because we can just throw Tamio in front of there and keep the initiative for a turn. I think that's worth it. Not giving the initiative back. Again, Fury would be devastating if they find it. They could re-initiative. They could do a lot of stuff here to screw with us. Okay, just attacking with that. Well, that's easy. We're just going to block here. Yeah, and I question the logic in not at least attacking because they could have definitely gotten our Tamio for free there. Okay, now we're gonna buff up Nadu. Yeah, because we want to end this game. It's almost always correct, by the way, unless you're a true you don't have any creatures out to go into this side of the dungeon. In my experience, another Nadu. So we'll plus here. We're just running away with it. Let's go like this. You get a clue. They can't do anything. Now I'm going to Brainstorm. I'm going to hope to find something I can shuffle away. Yeah, Plagon's pretty insane too. I'll just put these cards on top. I can actually just Plagon spam to get these into play. But actually, I'll draw them first. Oh, wait. I can Plagon first, and with the ability on the stack, I can spam to get the triggers. How cool is that? Let's go ahead and do that. So check this out. We're going to get a bunch of lands in play. Just target Plagon himself. Always yield 2 abilities. Land trigger. And we'll do it again. That's basically an Ancestral Recall we just did. Pretty freaking tight. Pretty freaking good. Now we get Shuko. Yeah, let's just Shuko. And then let's, like, if you don't want to concede opponent, you don't have to concede. But we just won the game. There is no doubt in my mind. Always yield. I'm just going to keep digging until I find a plow. Always yield. Actually, I don't get that many triggers because I've already targeted Plagon twice. Okay, I did find the plow. So I'll just go ahead and plow now. Doesn't really matter. I can just wait till the turn. Do I have a white card in my deck? I do not. Shouldn't be too big of a deal, though. Because they attack and Plagon just takes care of them. All right. Yeah, I mean, freaking Nadu. This card's correct. I don't think that comes as a surprise of anybody. Banned in every format except Legacy and Vintage, of course, the degenerate format. Where, freaking Bizarre Baghdad is legal. Okay, let's go into post-board. Hydroblast definitely come in. Batterskull comes in. I think we take out one of the Shuko. It was cool just like organically drawing it, but it was totally unnecessary. We had that game locked up anyway. I think the Force Negations come in, and I think we agreed that we were cutting Ponder. I say we agreed. Yeah, you totally like signed the DocuSign that I sent you, right? Like you're on board, right? Contractually agreed. I came to the conclusion that we don't need that. I'm going to cut the Savannah. There could be situations where I rue cutting the Savannah. And I think we can cut a Plagon. He's pretty high mana value. It's worth noting Ford is only playing 3 of them instead of 4. I just like him so much. And I bought 4 of them. And I have 4 on MTGO. Like, it feels wrong to not play 4 of them. Because, I mean, look at this beautiful jellyfish. Okay. Enough goofing off. This is the hand. We've got all 4 basics accounted for. We've got Nadu plus the combo. We pitch Force as we pitch Brainstorm as our Force. And we just hope that they don't have Megas to the Moon, which we can't answer. Opponent is molded 6. 17 minutes on the clock. I don't know that we'll need that. It has not been nearly as click intensive. Like maybe I'm just playing faster, but when I played before, I remember going to time so many times because Nadu is very click intensive. Maybe I'm just getting faster, but I think a lot of it is opponents are just much more likely to scoop to Nadu. I won't be able to stop like a big goblin out of the gates. Best draw is, oh yeah, that's scary too. But it does mean that likely they're not going to be able to play a 3-drop goblin this turn. Okay, and they don't. Artamio is fine. I think it's fine to go ahead and just get her on the table. She can potentially block and do other stuff. Yeah, and then I have Brainstorm for her next turn, and it will slow them down. I mean, they are attacking with lots of creatures, and Artamio debuffs are relevant when your opponent has a lot of creatures. This is probably an uncounterable meanie. But importantly, it is not a Megas on the Moon. Rebel Master. So I'll just block the creature that comes in here. Best draw on my deck is still the Delighted Halfling because it deals very cleanly with this while also kind of ramping us. Plagon's not bad. I think the game plan here is just deploy the Stoneforge, get the equipment, and win over the course of 2 turns. The other option is to Brainstorm after attacking plus, and that will distract them quite a bit. I think that's fine. I'm going to do that. See, they'll be attacking for essentially 3 on my 4-drop. Yeah, and this gives me the opportunity. I get a clue, and I potentially find a plow, which would be phenomenal. I think it's better than Stoneforge missing because Stoneforge doesn't really change the critical turn that I can now do. Okay, Hydroblast does kill the thing. Unfortunately, it does make me tap. But like with double force, I think it's okay. I'm going to put back Negation and Lord of the Beach. If I just go ahead and kill this now, then they're going to need a new attacker. And I do want these lands. I mean, it sucks that I have to get like yeah. I've got Force of Will for Blood Moon. But I'm going to go ahead and Tundra here. Next turn, I can get the green. Is it better to get Trop here? I think it's better to get Trop and then next turn get the basic planes. And I'll just cast this now. Easy peasy. Plus, we're going to pass. I definitely don't want to have to force. Well, I'm not going to force pitch Nadu. I'm definitely on the Nadu victory train here. they play that heavy or something like that, or another one of those things, that would be bad. Broadside is pretty scary. Is also uncounterable. I think Tamio is not long for this world. They can attack and throw at 3. It's not enough to kill. There's no point in attacking with that. I imagine they throw to deal damage to Tamio, but it actually won't impact things long term. They didn't have a land, which is a huge gift to us. So I can just go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. Still get a plus. And if this distracts them, great. That's what we want. We want to just distract them for a few turns. Okay. Now we have a second path to a basic. I'm going to go ahead and get the basic planes here, and I'm just going to Stoneforge, and I'm just going to go ahead and put the Shuko in, and I'm going to also put the Shuko on Stoneforge Mystic. Just, it shouldn't matter. There is like it's called like Fiery Confluence. That could be a card that they could use. I could also get Batterskull, but I'm pretty sure they'll kill. Yeah, I just want the Shuko. I mean, who doesn't want to just draw infinite cards, right? Okay, let's pass. Oh, let's go ahead and equip here and pass. We're cruising. They need some material to throw at Tamio. If they do that, they can't go after my Stoneforge, which doesn't matter. Like, there's no reason to attack. Like, I can't block the Stoneforge. But if they have anything that is... Man, their mana is, like, terrible. They can't cast a lot of stuff. Like, if they have, like, Fable or something like that in their yard. Okay. This means we're probably going to be forcing something here. Okay, that is a force. I do not want to introduce the initiative, please. Mox. Okay, so they can kill Tamio here, but it's at a high price. They can also kill my Stoneforge. I think they're just going to kill Tamio here, which is fine. I mean, if they don't kill my Stoneforge, then that's additional triggers on additional Nadu triggers. Can't block. Okay. They're a fool if they don't just throw the Mox here. They've already done so much damage to her. They should finish her off. Okay. Yeah, and when I say they're a fool, like, I hope that doesn't come across the wrong way. Like, I think it's incorrect is what I mean to say. I don't mean to personally insult my opponent. And they did the right thing anyway. I was just slow to state what they were doing. Okay, so here we are going to win. Let's go ahead and get the basic forest out of our deck. I mean, if we take the initiative later, it'll be sad, but like, I don't want to have to worry about that. Let's just go boom, boom, boom. Nadu, do you still want to play the game? Always yield. Always yield. A force negation is good. Let's go ahead and do it again. Always yield. Okay, we got to land. Move this over here. Always yield. I can do this all day, as Captain America likes to say. And I got another creature. I'm going to go ahead and drop the creature, and we're just going to do some more. Always yield. Hydroblast is yet another thing that takes care of their stuff. We could play out the Tamio, and then we might be able to get to... I think it's fine to just play out the Tamio and get more triggers. Always yield. We can play out the Halfling. No, wait, we already have all our green sources. We have a Savannah. Did I cut Savannah? I think I cut Savannah. I'm going to go ahead and fetch anyway. I have a Hedge Maze. I'll just get the Tundra here. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't just attack for 2. So we have Hydroblast and Plow up. I don't think they're getting through this. Next turn, we can just do the same thing we did today. Yeah, like, unfortunately, for people that are playing against Nadu decks, not for us, but for us when we're not playing as Nadu and we're playing against this deck, unfortunately, when they get the combo, the game is functionally over. Like, there's just no way, practically, to come back. And a lot of people don't understand the extent to which me drawing, 7-8 cards, basically, last turn, just completely made it inviable for my opponent to come back. And I don't blame anybody for making me play it out. It does take time off my clock. Okay, after some thought, our opponent is putting this on the stack. It cannot be countered. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it resolve, and then I'll Hydroblast 1 and I'll Plow the other. Okay, I'll just go ahead and let this resolve 2. Doesn't really matter. Okay, my opponent had some connection issues, but we're about to ruin their day. Check this out. So we're just going to Plow here. Boom. And then we're going to blast. And then that's going to be game. I mean, the game was over a long time ago, but this is like how you get to crush people's dreams when you're the bad guy with a combo deck. My opponent said, GG to you as well, Rainbow Man. See you in round 4. We're 3-0. All right. We're up against an unknown opponent. Most likely a control or tempo gamer. I think this hand is fine though. We have turn 1 Delighted Halfling. We have double force. I'm going to get the forest. They're mulling to 6 cards. I mean, there is certainly a risk that we just have trouble finding our second land. They play Esper Murktide in Modern and Jeskai Control in Modern. It's possible that like maybe they won't waste us if we go Trop here, because I do want to be able to ponder for land number 3. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, I don't like to do one-landers like this. This hand's so good, though, with double force against an unknown opponent that I feel like we have to. They force here, I'll force back, because that'll mean this is impactful. I think we could force with Nadu to spook them and make them think that we're really, really dangerous. Play against 2 cards, guaranteed, if this is sticks around, and Plagon's easier to cast. I'm going to pitch Nadu. Halfling's in. The card our opponent pitched was... Oh, they have Yorion. Oh, they're on Espervile. Espervile alert. I love Espervile. All right, this will be an interesting matchup because Espervile is really good at producing value. No, the Wasteland. All right. Well, that is unfortunate. Let's see if we can draw land. Oh, never didn't have it. Unfortunately, it doesn't cast what we're trying to do here. I'll just attack for 1 to pass. Our opponent doesn't know that we don't have another land, but they definitely played correctly, wasting us there. Savannah, what are they on? Could this be like a Nadu deck that's like big Nadu? I'm just going to play this out and pass. This can help us at least get some clues in the meantime. And this, if we get Plagon off, we get 3 cards now, which would be fantastic. Okay, our opponent doesn't have a second land. Do we get a land? Yeah, we're just going to come in for a hug here. I do think we just crack this off immediately because I want to get a land. I don't think they're playing Bowmaster. That'd be a crazy, like, multicolor deck if they were playing Bowmaster. If we find the land, it's totally worth a play. All right. Never didn't have it. And now, I do kind of think we ponder just to set things up. We could also... That'll flip Tamio as well. No. Oh, we don't want to flip Tamio. And I'll tell you why. Because Plagon's going to give us an extra card, and Plagon will flip Tamio next turn. So I'll just do this, and I'm looking for land number 3. Stoneforge is fine. I don't think we need it. We're about to draw 3 cards. I want to draw more land, just in case they waste us. That's like the big threat. I mean, we can still draw a card and everything. Okay, they've got a freaking deck. This is a build. All right, so now I am pretty worried about Bowmaster. Okay, so I think what we do here is I'm just going to attack with Tamio here first. And then I think I'm going to play out the Delighted Halfling rather than playing Plagon because I am worried about... and this will give me extra cards. Like, Fortune favors the patient, and it also favors the prepared. Let's undo. Let's go ahead and play this with this mana. If they end-step, I'll just crack the clue if they Bowmaster here. That would make sense for them to have that. Okay, and I think it makes it's more important to just force this because we're about to draw a ton of cards. Yeah, I'm gonna force. And if they force back, then I can crack the clue. They do force back. Okay, so I'm just gonna crack the clue here, and we might draw a force. It's unlikely, but it's possible. Shuko. Okay. Well, that is forced, and they have a Bowmaster. They don't have a target. We cleared the clue. They're not in a disadvantageous position. If they have a second Bowmasters, they can even take out one of my Delighted Halflings. But if we draw a Nadu, we're like totally set. Bowmaster is definitely like the best card against us. So they've done a great job of countering us, considering like the fact that they were on a mulligan. And the fact that like their Bowmasters and forces and other stuff are distributed across 80 cards instead of just 40 or 60. They're not coming in for a hug. All right, they have another potential Bowmaster up, but I feel like if they did, they would have just attacked there. This is fine. I think the right thing to do is just Shuko and then equip and attack. It's not a lot of damage, but it is some damage. And then I can just equip it to one of these and have a more stout blocker later. But I can't Plagon with that out. I mean, as much as I'd like to draw 4 cards, like it's just a bridge too far, in my opinion. Yeah, this Bowmaster is doing incredible work. Our opponent probably has no idea how much work their Bowmaster is doing, but it's just completely locking us out. I'm drawing 4 Plow and 2 Prismatic Ending. I'm also drawing Nadu, who just doesn't care about Bowmaster. Fetching. How many other colors do you have in your deck? Opponent is brainstorming. Okay, the 5th color revealed. I think they're just on like Anzi D, Greed Pile or something like that would make sense. So we could grow the Bowmasters and get deeper into our deck and closer to a potential answer. I think that's worth doing here. They can't kill any of our creatures. I'm going to assume that they're not. I am going to bring in a Harbinger of the Seas for the post-war matchups. I think we get the Tundra here, and then we have 2 of each color. Yeah, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I know it sucks to feed the Bowmaster when you don't have to, but like now that they have the Tomio out, it's a little bit more urgent. We just need to find a Nadu here. Another Delighted Halfling. Okay, well, I'm glad that was not just like the only thing I did last turn. Okay. Another Plagon. Gosh, you are not a good card when there's a Bowmaster on the table, are you? Just going to play this out. I mean, I could go ahead and ponder. If I find a freaking... Yeah, I'm going to ponder because if I do find it, it's so clean. Yeah, let's do it. Not going to work. Those are 3 very bad cards that we just dodged. Okay, another ponder. I mean, I could plus... I mean, they could take this out if I want to flip Tomio. I don't think I want to flip Tomio. I am going to just attach Shuko and attack. It doesn't cost me anything. Get a clue. Pass. They should block here. There's no reason not to block. Okay, now we'll move the Shuko over to another creature, and we will pass, and we'll probably just do the in-step draw thing. We are going to start running out of life before too long. They're just attacking with that. That's fine. This could be a Kaito, which would be pretty devastating. Clue token. Yeah, this Orc army has gotten huge, and they haven't attacked with it. I think they could have attacked with it. Just going to go ahead and activate my clue here. They get a ping, but we're getting another Plagon. Yeah, man, Plagon's not good right now, but once we clear this, my goodness, is it going to be good. Oh, it's another terrible card. I'm just going to I'm going to be in this holding pattern here, and we're going to start throwing I should have freaking equipped. I could have done the damage. It's very minor, but it is incorrect. You know what? If I find a freaking Plow, it's so worth it. I think I do. Go ahead and ponder here. They'll just ping one of my halflings. There's the Plow. I mean, we have to take... I don't want this brainstorm. All right. Here's the ping. Okay. So now, if they have another one, it's just absolutely devastating, but I do need to move the game forward. They could force this. That would be devastating. If I can get Plagon on the table without them doing their crazy thing, it's really good for me. Let's go ahead and draw a bunch of cards, please. Do you have a force? If you have a force, we can do this again next turn. I can do this 3 turns in a row. Oh, wait, they can't force. But they could just Bowmaster again. Plow there. That's fine. There's 1 fewer draw trigger, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm going to get 4 cards. Okay, and now we can just play out the land and pass. I think it makes sense to just move this over here so I can double block with Plagon and just clear their last remaining creature. I mean, it's not good, but I need a Plagon again next turn anyway, so I might as well do this. So I'll double block here. Well, that is a heck of a rip. I'm fine with that, though. Okay. The creature deck that's playing Yorion, that's playing Terminus. I have no idea what the heck is going on with their deck. Probably putting a Plow on top was what I would put, but maybe a Force. They will have Hardcast Force next turn. Putting a Brainstorm on top. Makes sense. All right. Tempting as it is to do the instep Brainstorm, I'm not going to do it. Nadu, please. Let's see if we can find a Nadu here. I can Brainstorm again if they Bowmaster. Okay. Formal Wear for Tomio is pretty good. Wait. Tomio's not in... Oh, Stoneforge is in the graveyard. Okay. I'll just put these back. Put this back. Put back a Plagon. Now we can go ahead and just play this out. White. Pre-war. Let's get our Stoneforge back. Let's go get our other Shuko. I'm not going to play it out because it represents a card I can like, ping pong back to my hand if I want to. Just go ahead and ponder to set up my next turn since they don't seem to have a Bowmaster. These are all great cards. I don't really need the Plagon. I'll do it like that. I'll equip. This could definitely come down to time, but we do have aggression on the table. Our opponent's drawing a Brainstorm, which could put anything into their hand. 15 minutes on the clock to their 19. So I've been like eating a snack, like a pretzel from Sam's Club. And I've been like just slightly slower to click on the buttons as a result. I need to stop doing that. I'm just going to tighten up because this is like, a potential trophy here. It may be worth just playing out the Shuko and then hitting for 5 every turn. There's Tamio. I can just prismatic in that. I doubt they have another Brainstorm. This is fine. Okay, now they have nothing, so I'll just end this and we'll just Delighted Halfling and Plagon. Yeah, I think that's fine. So let's go white. End. Done. Halfling. Plagon. Draw 2 cards. Let's equip. Let's pass. We're going to be able to end this pretty quickly. I am a little concerned about time. Opponent does have Yorion that they could grab. That shouldn't be too big of a problem because we have a plow. Okay. 2 cards in hand. All right. Okay, so we can just... Stoneforge doesn't really do a lot here. I can just equip here and start beating face faster. I think that's fine. I'll just pay the mana to do an extra... to do more damage. So I'll take 7 here. Unless they have a plow. I don't want anything to get countered here. They do have Leyline Binding. This is going to take forever. All right, so they're going to bind my Plagon probably. That's fine. I take 2. I am going to just play this out just to accelerate. I'm more worried about my clock than I am about my opponent and what they're capable of at this point. Okay, they're just like playing to the clock basically. They've acknowledged that. Okay, so I'll play this out. I'm going to just equip here. Going to swing for 5 here. I will play out a Plagon here. I don't think it gives any information away. I'll just play it uncounterably just so I can ensure that I draw the cards. Again, I'm not expecting any of this to matter, but I do want to end the game, and Plagon lets me kill next turn. And it gives me 2 cards, or 1 card. That's weird that it didn't give me 2 cards. Did I miss something? Why didn't I get a second card? This creature's... Oh, because I freaking have the double Shuko equipped. Yeah, I couldn't have unequipped them. Okay, and they're just... who knows what they have in their hand. They may choose to delay in some other way here. So we'll go ahead and just come in with both of them. Okay, that should be lethal unless they have interaction. They do have interaction. So we're going to keep playing for a little longer. It is frustrating when people just slow roll like this. Okay, what are they going to do here? I can just plow this. Fine. I'm going to go ahead and just plow now. Yeah, they can just chew a lot of my clock up here. Like just taking my time, basically. So they take 3 here. I think it's fine to just go ahead and do this and equip. There's not really any benefit to equipping Shibuko, but I will. Yeah, so they can Yorion. They can Leyline Bind to give me the other one. I don't know what they're going to do here. Learn Revealed, sure. I don't think it saves them. I'm just going to draw a card here. Yeah, this is going to be a total grinder of a match, and they're 5 minutes ahead. They're fetching. Going to plow my Plagon. That's fine. I'll gain some life. Draw a card. Okay, Tamio. Let's just go ahead and Tamio here. I'll just go ahead and play the Stoneforge. I mean, like, they may just Terminus again, which would be really frustrating. But, okay, they're forcing there. That's fine. They're just trying to eat up my clock. It's fine. Let's play this. We failed to find. Let's play this. Draw Plagon. Getting some server lag to add to the frustration of my opponent not conceding this obviously overgame. And if knowing their top deck, they're probably going to draw like another card that buys them yet another turn of me having to click on stuff. Okay, Force, that doesn't do anything. Okay, so they're dead now. So we just do 3 and 3. Boom. Boom. Attack. All right. That took forever. 11 minutes to win 2 games. Or win 1 game. Yeah, I mean, like, to be fair to my opponent, I do that to some people sometimes too. If like they went and got a snack and they're like coming to the match 3 minutes late or whatever, you do what you can. Okay, so I think Harbinger is a snap include. Like they have the greediest mana base imaginable, and I want to punish that. I don't think anything else in here matters. I don't think Batterskull is good. I didn't see any Green Sun Zenith type stuff. They do have red, but I don't think that's worthy of Hydroblast. I think the cards we cut here, I'm genuinely not sure what to cut. I can't remember if they wasted me. I think they did waste me at the beginning of the game. I don't really want to pull the forces because like sometimes those are really consequential. Plagon feels like a 3 of. It doesn't feel like a 4 of card. And the reason is obviously it's legendary, but also it's just so bad against freaking Bowmasters. Yeah. Teferi's bad against Bowmasters too. But it is potentially good against a lot of the things we're doing. Like it stops, Terminus and stuff like that. And we are a creature heavy deck. They could take care of our Shuko, so I do think we need both the Shukos in. Yeah, it's a very hard decision to make here. With exile-based removal, pre-war is definitely less good. I think we probably take out pre-war. And if we're taking out pre-war, maybe we take out a Stoneforge. If we're taking out a Stoneforge, we can bring in a Force Negation. I don't think it's horrific. Hydroblast could be relevant. It is a 1-for-1. Force Negation seems like it's reasonable. I mean, like they definitely have a lot of non-creature stuff in their deck. However, Batterskull would be pretty decent, but then we'd need to bring in another Stoneforge Mystic. I don't think Batterskull's right for this matchup. I think we just bring in a Force Negation. They may be playing Beanstalk. They are playing Solitude, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were on like some 5-color Beanstalk deck. Seems great. This is a snap keep. So we delighted Halfling. Then next turn we Hedge Maze, and we try to get to Harbinger as quickly as possible. Drawing a Force or waiting for them to tap out for Harbinger would be great. Another Halfling is also spectacular if they fight over this. If they remove it, it's okay. I've got another one and a Hedge Maze next turn. So our next 2 turns are clearly like delineated in terms of what we're going to try to do. Underground Sea. So I sense Bowmasters. Ponder. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Halfling. Sorry, I'm like, my food. I have food in my mouth. I have a pretzel in my mouth. Play the Hedge Maze. That is a keep. A very real chance of them just windmill slamming. I'll attack in. I don't want to play the Tamio because I am genuinely afraid that they have Terminus. It's just too good right now. Okay. Forest. Okay, so they do have basics. Uro's fine. Uro is cool tech that is, a little dated. Oh, they had the land. They had the Wasteland. Okay, we got a ball game. I'm going to definitely play in here. Try to find some more lands. If I find an island first. Actually, I knew that was there. I think I do go island. I just don't want them to like Wasteland recur and lock me out of the game. I have a pretty clean line here where I draw 4 cards and I flip a Tamio. Check this out. I can even ensure that she's uncounterable. Both of my spells will be uncounterable here. Plagon is sweet. Draw 4 cards. Just insane. Absolutely insane. 7 cards in the grip. Tamio's going to get plussed. We've already made our land drop for the turn. We'll pass. Our hand is insane. Even if they terminus us, like it's not that big of a deal. Like every card has been paid out. Got Plow for Uro if they ever manage to somehow find enough green. They don't have blue up, so I don't have to worry. Okay, this is fine. They're just going to go after our Tamio probably. It's fine. So what I can do here is I'm going to just lock them off their colors. I think that's the right play. Force Negation is a good rip. Okay, let's think about this. So we lock them off their colors. We have Force Negation, which doesn't stop Force if they have it, but they don't have Plow. I do need the double blue, so I'm not going to be able to plow this immediately. Yeah, it's all right. I'm going to go for it. Okay, they did have the Force. It happens. We don't have good attacks. I'm going to send it anyway. I don't have anything else to do. They can block 1. Force Negation is going to be good here. I don't think we stop Tamio. It's interesting to note that like Tamio debuffing doesn't actually negatively affect Plagon because his toughness doesn't get debuffed. This is actually fine. It would suck if they like Leyline Binded Plagon, but I will counter that at this point because I do need to use Plagon's ability to kill Tamio. I'll just attack with Tamio and a Delighted Halfling. Probably attack all of them at her just to ensure that like some Bowmaster or something like that doesn't ruin it for us. Wasteland. Please waste me. Yeah, I'm fine on land. Okay. Shuko. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this out. I do kind of need to go ahead and just fetch. Yeah, I should have played the plains instead. That was bad because I could have surveilled here. And now we're just going to go attack all at Tamio. And then we'll wait until Atra blocks and then we can flip the damage assignment. Yeah, they don't have... They could have Plow here. Is fine. Block. Go ahead and do the same here. Oops. They could actually like Plow here and save. We're going to pass. I don't expect to lose this game. So I'm just going to play like I'm going to win it and not freak out about clock here. Eating a clue. The Force of Negation gives me a lot of confidence. We can stop like a Terminus. I'm not going to stop that. Yeah, we're down 6 minutes. We've been down 6 minutes like basically the entire match, even though I'm trying to play really efficiently. Life on the Loam is fine. I don't want to force it because I don't really care that much. I'm dealing enough damage every turn, and if they're going to be like loaming it and stuff, that's fine. I've got my basic here. Okay, so I think what we do here is we just play out the plains. We play out the Shuko. I'm just going to go ahead and equip on here. I'll just attack with all of them. And then I'll just flip. Okay, and then we'll go to block, and then I'll do the same here. So we're doing like 7 damage, which is not terrible. All right, and now we'll see what they want to do. If they want to keep like loaming or doing something else. They did pick up 2 lands, so their hand is 2 lands, 2 unknown, 3 unknown. Terminus is something we're forcing. I'm not sure that we force anything else. Plow on Plagon is okay. I'm still attacking. Plagon is not the end of the world. Okay, Brainstorm. They're going to be able to put back some of these lands. They're currently tapped off of Bowmasters, which is great because I do want a Bowmasters here. Beanstalk is a force. Yeah, you don't let that resolve ever. Do they force back? All right, they don't. It's exiled. All right, a Nadu would be insane, please, deck. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and Brainstorm because I do need to find a Nadu if I can. Okay, there's Nadu. So the game's over. Just a question of how quickly we can end it. So let's go ahead and Nadu here. Blue. And then I know the top card is a land, so I'll go ahead and just activate. All right, always yield. Land, always yield. Let's go ahead and do it again. Okay, let's go ahead and do it again. Another Nadu. We can re-Nadu. I think it's fine to do so. Let's go ahead and put it over here. Always yield. I'll do maximum damage here just in case they don't concede and they're trying to like time me out. Prismatic Ending is fine. I'm just looking for more force type effects. Okay, that's great. I think it's fine to not re-Nadu. I'm just going to attack here for 1. And I'll hold up lots of interaction. Yeah, this feels great. Like, if I were in, like, blue-black and I was this far behind time-wise, I'd be like, okay, I hope I get my Kaito. I hope I can get in, like, 10 swings. But Nadu just completely flips the script. It makes it basically unwinnable for them. This could be Supreme Verdicts, which would be pretty annoying. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the game because we just Nadu again, but... Oh, you're bringing this back. I think I can just force it. And then I'll draw an additional 8 cards and... Yeah, then I'll win. I mean, I don't have anything to get rid of their graveyard in my deck. We can surveil here. It doesn't really matter. Just get it out of the way so we don't draw it. Oh, I guess I already did draw it. Yeah, I will just go to my turn. So we're going to start flipping. We've got 5 minutes on the clock. There's no way we're losing this. I'll go get another Shuko. And, you know, I can activate some more. Pre-war actually speeds things up too. Do we have anything in our graveyard to bring back? No, we don't. So, I actually took pre-war out. So it's because Shuko is the other target. Shuko. Let's go ahead and Shuko here. I'll yield. Plagon is good. We just dropped under 5 minutes on the clock. Fairy's fine. think I can just play him out. Let's go get a land. Oh, I can't play him out. Yeah. Actually, I can just do this. Yeah, that's fine. All right, and then I'll just plus him and leave him in play so they can't terminus here. I'll just get another card real quick. Yeah, we got one more. Let's go in for a hug here. And I'll just pass. Again, like if they are able to discard a... I can just Prismatic End. If they Uro. So they'll gain 3 life and they'll get a card, but I'll just Prismatic End it. It's fine. Now if I just force here, I don't think they can do anything because they're tapped out. I've got not Teferi out. I just don't want them to gain life and take one from my time. I respect their ability, their option to continue playing, but like they probably should have conceded a long time ago. I'll just go ahead and go to combat here. I don't think they're like they could Solitude here. Oh, they can't do anything because it's very good game. All right, we're 4-0. This deck feels amazing. My goodness. I think I played a lot of leagues without Stoneforge and with like the bigger Nomad. We every single round has felt very decisive. We've lost one game, but like if we're winning with like massive margins. Final round, we're up against a very scary deck. Opponent is a fan of the channel. His hand is awesome. Double. Stoneforge, Tamio open. Nadu can be pitched or we can go for the combo. This is the list our opponents are likely playing. 4 Bowmasters, Baraglyphs, Murktides. This is a nightmare. It's got the Bane of Nightmares. Teferi. Yeah, this will be interesting. Crazy to think that they're playing 11 creatures and they're enabling Kaito, but it's not their main plan. Main plan is Netherwaifs and Murktides. Okay, the pass after a Ponder. Yeah, I think this is just like a Island Tamio play. Oh, Force. Yeah, I think that's fine. I can Pitch Force. How many daisies do they play in here? 2. Okay, this is like a very moderate. This is like very much my style of deck that they're playing. I don't even care about this. This is to distract and, you know, potentially bait interaction. Let's see whether they get a Plains here. Yeah. Wow, they're respecting me. That's fine. Okay. They're respecting the fact that I could be on Kaito. Well, they're about to get the surprise. Stoneforge. You're welcome to force this. Don't daze it, though. I can allow them to force this, and the second one can go get the suit. All right. You are going to be very disappointed in me because I am a filthy combo player today. Shuko can only mean one thing. Thoughtseize. I think it's fine. I've got a backup Stoneforge. If they take Nadu, then I just go get the suit, and I use the suit to get Nadu out. They'll probably take Nadu here, which is just the same result with extra steps, really. So we got our 2 for 1. We're about to get another 2 for 1 into an N for 1. They'll need another Thoughtseize to take the pre-war Formware if they don't counter this, and I'm going to force to get Stoneforge through. Plow is welcome. Undo. Let's drop this first. I'm just going to hold the Shuko in hand. Okay, let's go get pre-war. Pre-war is perfect for these types of situations. I could just Shuko here, but I could also just hold up land in case I need to force something around days. I will attack for 1. Yeah, I could attack for 2 there. Maybe that was correct, is to go ahead and play with the Shuko, but I do worry that like Shuko somehow isn't in play. There's the Wasteland, so I am punished for tapping the... oh, they went for my white? I think this is fine. All right, so now I'm kind of worried because I need to find a white source. Blighted Halfling's not bad. I'm just going to play with the Halfling and attack with both of them and take 1 damage. I don't want to get dazed. If they have another Wasteland, that's really catastrophic because they can cut us off of being able to do the pre-war when we find the thing. That's fine. This is going to be an exciting match, I can tell already. Both of us playing really tight, 22 minutes on each of our clocks. I have to say the name out loud. Termagurf! Termagurf! It's the... Oh, yeah, and they do have the Wasteland. So, yeah, this is bad, but we do have Delighted Halfling creating colorless and potentially helping us cast. This is a Baraglyph. I am going to have to force this because I don't have a Plow in immediate reach. So this is a very strong play from them. Because like this runs away with the game. It has to be dealt with. If they have a force back, it's bad news bears. Okay, we got through it. So they are in the driver's seat here, dealing 0 damage but creating clues every turn. They can help them dig toward Murktide or other cards. A white source off the top flips the script completely. They could still have days. We can do literally nothing. I am going to go ahead and play the Shuko out. It does up our clock. If they want to daze it, that's okay. All right. I'm just going to equip here, and we're going to attack for 4. We're going to try to get some weenie beats on. We got a great hand if we can find mana. They have the ability to flip Tamio, and if they do, it's really devastating for us. And it looks like they're just cracking a clue, but they could also find a Brainstorm or a Ponder. Double land. Okay, now they can double clue, and then our offensive is nerfed dramatically. Okay, they're opting not to flip her. All right, I'm going to go for it. Do you have... What's it called? Drawing a clue. There's a card that they could have Cling to Dust. Okay, and they scoop because we had the combo. That felt great. Okay, so against them, I don't think we substitute anything. We're not kind of like banking on fighting against fair decks. They're the fairest of fair. Just trying to chip and grind away like with the deck like after our own heart. They have access to Plow. Harbinger could be okay. Just screw them off of white or black. But it's just as easily to screw us. They do have 4 wastelands. They don't really have any other lands that I want to ruin. And it's only a 3 color deck. It's not like a total greed pile like last round. Yeah, I'm gonna run it back. All right, so we're looking for hands that are not totally weak to Bowmaster. All right, this hand is no good. We can't keep this. Like, this does answer Bowmaster, but it's just way too passive. It's unfortunate considering we only have 19 lands. This is much better. I think we put the pre-war back. I'm not going to play on basics. I'm going to hope that we can surveil and then... Okay. Yeah, I do want to surveil here. I don't want to play with the Tamio because I want to be able to brainstorm with her. I mean, maybe it is correct to go ahead and just put her out there. We can also play off basics. Yeah. Instead of surveilling. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and Island Tamio. If they daze, it's okay. Plagon's so strong, and I would like to create some clues before then. And I do want to get the plows out of the way, or whatever they're using for removal. I assume it's plow, since they're playing white. Shield Edict, there are a lot of things they could do here. Bowmaster is probably what they're holding, which is unfortunate because, like, yeah. All right, let's attack, and we will respond to Bowmaster with a Brainstorm. Actually, we won't because, man, it's a tough situation. Because if we respond to Bowmaster with the Brainstorm, then Tommy's just chilling there, waiting to die. So I'm just gonna pass. Yeah, Bowmaster is so good against us. I really want a Brainstorm to get this out of my hand. Oh, Cling to Dust. So I do need to respond to this. Stop here. I'm going to go ahead and just clue here. Let's go get the forest. I can't think of a reason not to do this. Just to draw where we can. We're not going to pretend we have force like counter magic or anything up. Nadu, number 2. They could have surgical. I doubt it. My kitty is in here, and my daughter came in and like noticed she was in my office, and she got really excited. Yep, that's fine. I can't protect her, but it's fine. Like, I'm not going to risk Bowmaster Blowout. Okay, Strix is fine. That's not as scary as Bowmaster. We've dealt with Strixes before in this league. We don't have access to our planes, which is frustrating. I mean, I think we just brainstorm here, like when we can safely. And then we can, I would love to find, okay, there it is. So we're going to put this back. Put this back. Actually, yeah, I'll put this back, and then I'll just fetch and I'll play out another Tamio, I think. Because I want to do something this turn. Let's go get a Tundra. Because she will flip with Plagon. Yeah, and if they want to use another plow on her or something like that, it's a 1-for-1. It's cool. I'm just trying to clear the way to where Nadu can really come out and shine. Okay, Brainstorm without a Tommy out. That's good. They find a land. They could come in and they could Kaito us, which would suck. The main thing I'm scared of, though, is like I don't want to walk into a daze. So if they like waste us, then we have to wait another turn. We'll get our basic, but it is like, I mean, I guess I could just Nadu into a daze. They have 2 dazes in their deck. There's the colors they need to. Okay, they're going to plow here or Prismatic End, one of those two. They thought about it and they decided not to. I mean, they have a Baleful Strix watching over. Okay, now they're doing it. They've got lots of answers, but once Nadu starts hitting the table, their answers are less good. Let's put it that way. All right, let's go ahead and... Oh, Prismatic Ending is clean. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and Nadu first, and then I'll go ahead and ponder afterward. All right, I don't want to ponder because I might want to get a forest. Or, yeah, if I ponder and they get a Bowmaster going, it's a 2-3. It's not the end of the world. How much do I want to maintain forward momentum? Ponder could help me set up the combo. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to get another Tundra and I'm going to ponder. Actually, I'll get a... yeah, I need to get another Tundra if I'm not going to get a basic plains here. Okay, so here's the Bowmaster. Shielders Edict. That's clean. Yep, they got rid of it 1 for 1. Okay. That is one of the few kind of 1 for 1 answers to Nadu. I do have another one coming. I am tempted to get the Hedge Maze here. Just to get it out of my deck and dig deeper. So I don't have to cast the Ponder. Maybe that was wrong. Delighted Halfling is great. So next turn we can Delighted Halfling and potentially end this. End like a Beargoyf. I'm worried that they might have a Murktide now. They do have a stacked graveyard. Clinging Dust is in their graveyard, so that shuts off. Yeah, this is probably Kaito here, which is super unfortunate. Oh, okay. No Kaito. That's good for us. All right, maybe I'm overly pessimistic here because I'm just so used to getting Kaito'd off of Baleful Strix. They only have 1 Kaito in their 75 if they're playing what they were most recently playing. Is that true? Yeah, they don't have a second Kaito. Yeah, in fact, I'd be surprised if any of these cards came in against us. Stock Up is fine. That is a very good card. I don't think it's a great card, but it's powerful here where we don't have anything going on. So I'm kind of tempted to just hold the Prismatic Ending for... Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the... That sucks. That really wrecks us. Yep. They're going to get a card out of our hand too. We are going to be able to Plagon, but now Plagon sucks because they shuffle our deck. Yeah, they're just outplaying us, I think. I wouldn't ever bring Surgical in against a Nadu deck. I think it's a terrible card in this matchup, but our opponent is clearly having some good luck with it here. Or like, that's a bad rip. I'm going to go ahead and Ponder first. Halfling and Plow. I think we just take the Halfling here. Next turn we have the Plow on top. That's good to know about. We have Teferi. Halfling into Teferi is very powerful. They could remove Halfling, which would be unfortunate. I do kind of want to just Prismatic End since I know that I have... Because this is... Every turn this represents a potential Kaito on the table. They know what's coming. They don't know that we have Kaito though. If they have like a Bowmaster, it's going to be pretty nasty when I do this, but I could take a turn off in Teferi. We're ripping Plow actually, so Bowmaster's not that big a deal. We can just... If they're hard casting it, that's great for us. Okay, they're just stunning that. That does not actually matter that much unless they have exactly Force. Okay, so we're drawing Plow, which doesn't address this. We're also drawing Kaito, or we're drawing Teferi. Teferi's pretty good, but he doesn't do anything here. I mean, my instinct is to go ahead and shuffle this away because we're going to be pretty embarrassed if Plow is all we have. I think I'm going to go ahead and just draw a Plow because it is like a way to save us from death. Then we're going to do this and they're going to probably counter it. That would make sense. They do force it, so we're like Stone Aged. Okay, our opponent is just like destroying us, basically. So Teferi is not bad. Teferi can bounce Delightful Halfling back to our hand and give us an extra draw. But they're going to get a lot of value between now and then. So my hope is that we can get this Plow through and stop whatever threat they're going to ultimately choose here. They're surveilling. Okay, so Kaito comes in, surveils. It's our turn again. We do want this Teferi, we can buy this back to hand and we can replay it. 2 cards off of it. Actually, how good is it? I mean, it distracts for a turn cycle. I think it's worth doing. They can Hardcast Force here. Bowmasters is fine. They get a body. Just putting it on us. So I think the correct thing to do is just plow this now. I think we could also just minus this to just get it off the table. We could just bounce our Delightful Halfling. I think that's less good. I'm going to get the material off the table. And now they're going to have to go for this instead. Force is fine. It doesn't matter. We're going to lose Teferi, but Teferi did a decent job of like dealing with the most problematic card in our opponent's deck. But Kaito is out, and we do have to deal with Kaito here. They're fetching. They're probably surveilling. I could definitely concede here just because like the odds of us winning are pretty low without Kaito or without Nadu in our deck. But if I find another Starfish, like it's pretty good. I will tell you that like I'm seriously considering just putting Batterskull in the deck just as another win con because we do need a way to win if Kaito gets stripped. And with them using exile-based removal plus them being able to clean to dust and surgical and stuff, I don't feel like pre-war Formwar is going to be particularly good. They're attacking us and they're going to surveil. Okay. Okay, they're probably looking for some big threat that can close the game. Another Bowmasters would be pretty phenomenal here too. Just finish that and I'll be happy to concede if they play Bowmasters. All right, that's it. All right, so game 3, I do think we just make that swap. We bring in the Batterskull. We take out the one card that cares about our graveyard. Yeah, they're clearly fearing pre-war. I don't think that you bring... Like it, in the absence of pre-war, I don't think it makes sense to bring in surgical. Teferi is pretty bad against Bowmasters. There's not really anything worse though. I think Teferi is better than pre-war, considering the amount of graveyard hate they have main deck. We do want to end this game fast. Like, yeah, this is a shuffle. We just need to respect the fact that they're a 4 Wasteland deck. This is also a shuffle, unfortunately. This is terrible. This is like, we're really getting bad luck here in the final round, the final game. This is also a freaking shuffle. My goodness. I'm not going to shuffle it, though, even though it is a shuffle. I'm going to put back Shuko, because I have like 0 expectation that we actually tech all the way up to Nadu. And I think we probably put back Nadu, and we're just going to go ahead and Island Tamio and just take it slow. I was saying how we had to put our foot on the gas pedal, but like I actually think there's a high likelihood that they remove our Tamio, and the second Tamio is going to be more relevant. So I'm going to do that. And of course, they kept 7, so I'm going to do my best. Put on a brave face here. All right, Termagurf with the Polluted Delta opening. Probably a Thoughtseize here or a Plow. Yeah, that's fine. And this is why we kept the second Tamio, because there is a very real possibility that we don't draw land for a few turns. Okay, we got really lucky here. So I'm going to just play this out, and now I have the ability to brainstorm, but again, they've got Bowmasters, which is an insane card against us. Yeah, they're forcing it. I respect that. They pitched their own Tamio. All right, so that's very good for us. I mean, I could just brainstorm here. If I brainstorm and find a bunch of crap that I don't want, that's really good. It does force us to choose... Yeah, and that Hedge Maze should be a Meticulous Archive. I forgot to change that during the deck building process. Yeah, I'm going to brainstorm here and see if they daze it. They don't daze it. So I think we leave them with... Gosh, they'll almost certainly take Plagon, and then we draw the Plow. And are they going to take Plagon? I think they'll take Plagon. If they have something aggressive to do, they're going to take a Plow. I do think we hide the Brainstorm, though. Yeah, I'll just hold on to the 2 like similar cards, because next turn we are going to get another chance to get through the Brainstorm. So probably take Prismatic Ending, or Plow is the more flexible of the 2. Okay. And they ponder. So I'm going to Brainstorm and try to find a fetch and fetch away this Prismatic Ending. I think it's not that great, but it was definitely the weakest of the 4 cards we looked at there. Come on, fetch. All right. Yeah, these are fine. I don't want the Prismatic Ending anymore. Plagon's okay. I'd rather go ahead and ponder and see if I can float Plagon on top of my deck for a turn. Yeah, I'm going to play this out just so this doesn't get dazed because that would be annoying. Ponder. They're like, we're really low resource here. Do I want these cards? I don't want them. I'm going to any order shuffle. And just like that, we're basically hellbent. Sucks. Mulling to 5 sucks. So unfortunately, we did shuffle away our answer to Tamio. We may draw another one. That is unfortunate, but that is a surveil land. I'm going to pass. Definitely feeling unfavored here. They get a clue. They might even flip her. Brainstorm, they are flipping her. That's fine. We'll try to find a prismatic ending. We've got 2 left in our deck. We also have some ways of pressuring her. And again, if we can get the Nadu combo going, which is a big if, it's not even really going to matter that much. But they're going to get a perfect brainstorm here. They can shuffle away stuff. They could have Bowmasters for all we know. It's a very good card. Ponder. I would have probably cleared the bad cards first, but maybe they didn't have any bad cards. How does that augur for us? Okay, Wasteland. And now I'm going to go get the Surveil, and this will tell them that they need to hit our Tundra, which they'll probably hit before we get our turn. But I do have a backup Tundra in hand. Please don't be like some terrible card. Like, give me something decent. It's not a great card. I don't want to bin it. It'll be good in like 2 turns. Actually, it may not be good in time. A single daze pulls this apart. Okay, so if they have another Wasteland, we're never going to get to Batterskull. I didn't want to bin Batterskull, but I probably should have. They get a Surveil on top of all the other value they're doing. They can regrow a Thoughtseize, which is probably what I would do here. Unless they just have like a natural Thoughtseize or something else. They're continuing to go up. Okay, so if we draw a land, we have a fighting chance, but not a great chance. All right, good games. Yeah, that's frustrating. Like, because we're going to draw, like, okay, we could draw Prismatic Ending. That's like the only out. Prismatic Ending, and they don't have a plow. Draw a clue. They're so far ahead, though. Yeah, I'm sorry, my excellent friends, that the league ends this way. Like, it feels like every time I'm on like a trophy run, I queue into somebody who's like hyper competent, and you know, you can't necessarily say the same for all the people I played against today. There were some players that were just kind of like, this doesn't do it. Unfortunately, they're going to draw half their deck. Yeah. So shout out to Termagurf, good player, good deck. I do prefer just straight black-white, but that was a 4-1. Let's take a look at the list. So the only changes I think we need to make, first of all, there's no reason we should be playing Hedge Maze. It's not as important a color as Mystic Sanctuary. So that was just an oversight. Like, white is definitely the more important of the colors if you look at the way the list is distributed. I do think that, not Mystic Sanctuary, it's called Meticulous Archive. That's what I meant. Meticulous Archive in the deck. Plagon should be at 3 of. You could move like one of these Force Negations to the main deck, and then, but like we saw our hand getting exhausted very quickly, and part of that was because we mulled to 5, just really bad variance. You have to mulligan to 5 against a 4 Wasteland deck. You can't speculatively keep a hand that has Savannah as his only land. I just refuse to live in that world and die like that anymore. I've had too many games in that way. And maybe that's cowardice, and maybe they wouldn't have wasted immediately, but I've lost way too many games that, you know, and it was a high stakes game. I didn't want to just have it all end like that. So I think 2 Shuko is correct. Stoneforge could be getting like Caldra. I mean, it is possible that Caldra does belong in the deck. So one thing I'm thinking about is if you're in a matchup like that matchup we were in, pre-war Formal Wear is pretty terrible. So if we take pre-war Formal Wear and we put it in the sideboard, we get rid of Batterskull, which is, it's okay, but like Caldra is probably better than, and then we can run that main deck, and then we're doing the, like a much more typical kind of like Cephalid Breakfast type split. Caldra Complete can be bounced with Teferi. Caldra can be equipped to creatures. We did frequently go so late into the game that Caldra would have been nice. Another nice thing about Caldra is we can cast it unblockable or uncounterably. If we're doing this, you could argue that we should go up to 4 Stoneforge. Stoneforge felt pretty awesome the entire league. It does find our combo card. So what would we cut if we were going to go up to that? We could cut the Teferi. Teferi does not help us in a lot of ways. Like, we do already have Prismatic Ending for like bridge, Ensnaring Bridge and things like that. So we go up to 4 Stoneforge, And then suddenly we've got these 3 equipment, like lots of paths to our Shuko, lots of paths to Caldera. We do have a pre-war in the sideboard, which is good against like Fatal Push type decks and Lightning Bolt type decks, not good against Plow decks. And then we can just selectively kind of bring that in. That would be like the edits that I would make. I think I'll try a league with this. But overall, the deck felt amazing. It felt very powerful. Nadu is a very busted card that I think this shell respects the fact that the problem I had with like straight, like without Stoneforge, without Starfish, I think Starfish is the card that makes this viable, because Starfish does draw a lot of cards, and it is like kind of like an alternate way to trigger Nadu. And also Starfish is just like, it buffs all your creatures, so your halflings are hitting for 2. Starfish itself is not an embarrassing, 3/3. Your Tommy is hitting for 3. And that did come up in like some of those matches where we wanted to be able to hit for more. So I think 2 prismatic ending is correct. 4 force. I don't like main deck force negation in general, just because against like Moon Stompy, sometimes it just doesn't do anything because they open Magus to the Moon instead of Blood Moon. But like in a dedicated combo matchup, like the other thing I'll say is it would be nice to have a 3rd Hydroblast here. I'm not sure, but Hydroblast is much better against Moon Stompy than Force Negation is in some respects. Because we can reliably get yeah, that is my instinct. With 3 Force Negations, we probably do have a lot of like degenerate decks covered. We just need to survive the first few turns. We're also bringing in Consign against those. So we're not necessarily bringing in 6 cards against Oops. We can easily make 6 cuts, right? We've got like the 4 plows and 4 prismatic endings. And then, Caldera can help close the game early. I'm going to give Caldera a spin. I think Caldera is fine. We have one more card we can add? How do we get a card we can add? We've got 19 lands, 19 creatures, 21 other. I think we can add a Teferi back in. Teferi is mana intensive for sure, but like just having one of Teferi is pretty good. Not like miscounting anything, right? Like, yeah, I think Teferi is better than Plagon number 4. Yeah, so I think this is the list that I'm going to run in the next video. See you in the next video. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.